weird video games.
Drakengard. Holy crap, where do I start? I really don't know. Nothing about this is straightforward or linear in any way, so I don't know where the actual logical starting point is. It's like if someone combined Pulp Fiction with an Ouroboros' tail eating its own face. How do you describe the plot to someone who hasn't experienced it? I feel like William Shakespeare trying to write a play about quantum theory. The actual words to describe what you want don't actually exist, and so you have to invent new words just to convey what you want. So, I hope you know what I mean when I use words like deicide, magocracy, infanticcultism, cycloptoneering, doom pope, anthropomorphic existentialism. You look really confused. Perfect. Get accustomed to that feeling.
So, you're this guy Kime. Kime's parents were killed by a dragon, and he has anger issues. This is his entire character arc, so I hope you got all that. Chapter 1. The castle his sister resides in is being attacked by a giant army, so he single-handedly tries to fight them all. In the middle of battle, he gets wounded, by which I mean the flesh on his back is hacked wide open. During the cutscene anyway, then the gameplay starts and he's fine, I guess. Where things first start getting strange is the sound. When you walk into a group of soldiers, they give off this distant yell sound as if they're a much larger group miles away. It's like you've suddenly stepped into the middle of a baseball game. If you're thinking that's just an ambient sound of soldiers in the distance, it doesn't play when you're walking around alone. It plays when you walk into the midst of a group and is obviously centered around them. You only hear it when you're right next to a handful of them, but it sounds like they're a distant crowd. It's really hard to describe how unreal that feels.
Your sister, I mean the goddess Furiae, is in the castle.
Listen to Captain Exposition here. Hey, what's the best way to convey the idea that this character is a revered deity, that she's Kime's sister, and that this is kind of a recent change? I don't know, but we better do it all in one sentence. I probably wouldn't have felt the need to comment on it if not for the fact that he does this twice in the first level.
They're within the castle walls. Your sister, I mean her ladyship, the goddess.
Either this same character twice, or two different characters with the same voice, somehow forget they're not supposed to address her as your sister, as if it's their natural inclination to mentally associate her by her relation to another guy.
The phone's for you, Galen's brother. I mean, Mr. President of the United States of Space.
Thank you, Galen's other brother. I mean, Secretary of State of Time.
Who are these guys anyway? How are they speaking to you? They don't seem to be around. Cell phones probably haven't been invented yet in this world. And if you think there's some kind of magical explanation, there isn't.
The Empire soldiers have caught a dragon in the castle Bailey.
I have never heard the word Bailey used in that context before. Okay, interesting. Whatever.
A dragon. A pact. There's no other way.
What makes you worthy of a pact with me?
Worthy or not, I wish to live.
Wait, so Kime is dying? Okay, sure, I guess we did see him get sliced up earlier. They just didn't share any details of his injury, and he showed no signs of being at death's door until they told us just now. So Kime finds a dragon all chained up inside the castle, and decides to make a pact with her, seeing as they're both gonna die otherwise. Now, you may have heard quotation marks in my voice when I said pact. It's kind of a weird magical thing. You'll see.
Your answer! A pact or death!
And despite the fact that Kime hates dragons, he thinks he should make this pact with one for the sake of both of their survival. And while she's thinking about it, he kills 50 more people.
A pact? With that which killed my parents?
It was your idea, Dumpus.
Now, your answer.
A pact or
You know, they already established in this level's intro text that they make the pact, but they're still dragging it out like we might anticipate some other outcome. Anyway, after all the soldiers are killed, and the two of them are the only ones left, she finally agrees to this pact. So, as one might expect, Kaim reaches his hand right through his chest and pulls out his soul! The dragon similarly regurgitates hers, then they clink them together like they're making a toast. Like a snow globe toast. And it combines their life force, I guess?
Welcome to Drakengard. It only gets weirder from here. I'm telling you right now, as weird as this is at this point, this game gets progressively so much more insane that you won't even recognize it as the same game by the end. You can absolutely hold me to that. Ready? Let's do this.
The dragon is named Angelus. It's her job to wax philosophical about the nature of the human condition or something. Mostly she just sounds like your racist aunt who never shuts up about whatever ethnic group it is she arbitrarily hates. In this case, human beings.
Humans are a race to be pitied.
So yeah, now that they've made the pact, the dragon won't ever shut up, ever!
Must humans leave bloody trails wherever they go? Cannot live on hatred alone. Your human castles are all built on sand.
She's got to be the most annoying character in this game. Well, maybe second most annoying. Top 5 at least.
You live so that you may kill. Like all of your race.
Is this like a buddy cop movie where two hilariously mismatched creatures have to be partners?
He hates dragons. She hates humans. Kaim and Angelus team up to fight against the evil empire in Hard Pact. Wednesdays at 8 after Helen Keller, attorney at law.
Anyway, now you can ride the dragon around and fight... What are they fighting? Egg cookers? Hot air balloons? I guess they're balloons. With machine guns? I'm not completely sure that's what it is. Considering the rest of the technology in this game is medieval or maybe Renaissance era at best, machine guns don't seem fitting, but I don't know what else it could be. Whatever, that's not so weird as the flying dressers. I'm crazy, right? I'm not actually seeing a wardrobe with wings, am I? This is an enemy. This isn't even like one of those cute, wacky games like Parodius or Toilet Kids where the enemies are supposed to be silly, and where it takes very little effort to draw a couple of funny wings onto a fire hydrant. This is a carefully rendered and animated realistic 3D model. And this is meant to be an epic dramatic game about revenge, mortality, and moral conflict, and by the way, here's a dresser with wings that's trying to kill you. Here's also a gigantic floating matrix of faces in metal boxes that shoot face lasers which turn at hard right angles in mid-air. I mean, obviously this is a medieval fantasy where you fight magical foes, so naturally you're gonna have a dismembered human head in a box that shoots energy blasts by splitting its face in half. I need to sit down. By the way, this whole time, Angelus keeps making stupid remarks about how bloodthirsty and warmongering humans are, while in concurrent breath saying things that are bloodthirsty and warmongering.
Must you slaughter so many? I shall burn them all to ash.
Be consistent, you crazy lizard bug!
Wise men choose death before war. Wiser men choose not to be born.
What?
Lord Kaim! Lord Kaim! Please answer!
What, is he supposed to have a walkie-talkie? Well, it turns out Kaim lost his voice because of the pact. Funny how it didn't affect the dragon. Of the two of them, it was the insufferable one that gets to keep her voice. So I guess that's why he couldn't answer that guy, who's miles away. Or is he right next to him? I don't see anyone around. Soon we learn more about the Empire and their evil ways through unprompted outbursts.
Our oath, the world's oath, they are the same.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
The Imperial soldiers! Their strength is inhuman!
Their strength is human, guys.
Goddess, kill, seal.
Oh no, honey, we use determiners and conjunctions.
When I look into their eyes, somehow... Gah!
Forgiven, no forgiveness. Unforgiven. No.
So, that is, your stance on forgiveness is maybe? I have to say this is an enlightening conversation about your belief system for us to be having whilst trying to hack each other to death with giant murder blades. I mean, I've heard all of these words before, but not in an order that makes me go, yep, there goes my brain.
Forgiven. No forgiveness. Unforgiven. No.
It sounds like an alien trying to learn our Earth language by searching for random words on Google and practicing them without learning their meaning.
Vegetables. Pustules. Orangutan. Orangutan.
Furiai! Kaim! Kaim! It's enough. He's dead.
First, let me say it's weird that this cutscene starts with
Full
Kaim
bloodlust
continually
is
stabbing a
awesome.
dude that's already dead, when the cutscene wasn't actually triggered by killing an enemy. I wasn't even fighting, I just ran through the door and suddenly it cuts to me mutilating a corpse. Also, Kaim has a seal printed on his tongue, apparently. Here we're introduced to Inuart, who used to be betrothed to Furiai before she became whatever it is she became. You can tell this because, completely unprompted, he explains something all three of them already know entirely for your benefit.
Furiai is the goddess that protects the sacred seal. But before that, she was my betrothed.
So Kaim's sister, I mean her ladyship, Furiai, anyway, she's safe, for now, but they need to run to some kind of elf village because they're the Switzerland of this world. Really, this is an act of desperation as they no longer feel safe in their own castle. The Empire has overrun them and killed their soldiers, sent them fleeing, and many more are on their way.
Perhaps we should celebrate.
Yeah, sure. Celebration time. Was he carrying that harp with him the whole time? Chapter 2 starts with the heroes camped out with a small army on their way to the elves.
An ocean of blood flows. Is this war? Is it?
Acting!
We must find you a place to rest.
But we are resting. This is a camp. It's around this point that Inuart becomes something of a complete butt-knuckle.
Furiai, without you, the goddess, the world shall surely perish. Furiai, now that you are the goddess, my world is already dead.
Oh, shut up, dude. Your girlfriend is still alive and well, and you still get to be with her. And the whole world is in crisis, but poor you. Your life is over because she can't bone you? Or can't marry you? Wait, I don't even actually know what the actual downside of their situation is. As far as I know, his whole world is dead because he doesn't get a cool title like she does. I'll give you a title. Also, who's he talking to? Is this like a soliloquy that Kaim can somehow hear? Is it a poem he's reading aloud? Or is he whining to her and Kaim just overhears? They're nowhere visibly around, so I have no idea how Kaim hears it either way. Everyone's babbling only gets more incomprehensible as it goes.
Kaim, you and Furiai? No, no matter.
What? What are you implying? She's my sister, dude.
My body is no longer mine alone. Can Kaim?
I have no idea what we're talking about, sis. The hero's most well-thought-out plan is to meet up with someone named Verdele.
The Hierarch Verdele. I hear his voice.
His voice? The Hierarch has a pack beast too?
Yes, a dragon. A petrified dragon.
So, the dragon was petrified, but Verdele wasn't? I thought their life forces are combined or something. Was the dragon petrified before the pact or after? Both scenarios give me questions.
You must forgive me. I'm not strong enough to protect you.
But your songs, they calm me.
Oh yeah, because you're always so high-strung and manic. Frantic Furiai, they call you. Anyway, they find a message written in blood about the cult of the Watchers. That's pretty elaborate and legible. This dude must have lost a lot of blood. Did he somehow write that himself, or what?
Speak not the watchers. Draw not the watchers. Write not the watchers. Sculpt not the watchers.
Sculpt? This is seriously parodying itself. I don't even know how to make fun of this.
Sing not the watchers. Call not the watchers' name.
Build not the Watchers out of Lego. Erect not a giant statue of the Watchers in Minecraft. Render not the Watchers out of macaroni and glitter.
What is this?
I know, right? My sentiments exactly, Zergface. The Empire has apparently attacked the elves too, so Kaim rushes out to stop them, and that means more laser tag with head boxes.
Enough! They are creatures too. They have the right to peace and death.
What does that mean? I'm not even sure I'd know what that means if this creature was something I could relate to, but it's a little hard to anthropomorphize a floating phase cube that shoots ghost beams. Wait, are these the guy from Adventure?
If the Empire has a garrison in these mountains, mere passion will not be enough.
Well, there goes Plan A. Man, I worked hard in this interpretive dance.
Hatred drives you, but sadness fills your soul.
Why do you feel the need to fill in every lull in conversation with judgments?
A shrine. So the Empire worships idols of clay, like all other humans. The Empire worships idols of clay, like all other humans.
If you had any doubt that Angelus just likes the sound of her own voice, now she's just commenting for the sake of commenting. Hey, isn't it remarkable how unremarkable this is? Can you imagine her out on a date? So, do you like any sports? Sport is the invention of those who place livelihood over living. Athletes are a lot to be pitied. So, this restaurant has a menu like all other restaurants.
Damn them. The Empire uses spells and witchcraft.
A shocking turn of events in a game where you trade souls with a dragon and fight floating metal cubes made out of human faces.
No remorse, all things shall be food to our flesh.
I can't even tell if that's a metaphor or the clumsiest possible way to say you're going to literally eat everything. The wizard has fled into the shrine of the cult of the Watchers. Go after him and stop his wicked magic. And then you can sculpt him! Haha, take that!
The enemy is routed. But where are the captured elves?
Wait, did anyone actually say the elves were captured?
So, the elves were taken elsewhere. What does the Empire want? How should I know what ambitions drive you humans?
For all her rhetoric about humans being jerk faces, suddenly she acts like she doesn't understand human ambition. Isn't that like the crux of her whole humans are terrible shtick? Human ambition is what it would say on the cover of her pamphlets. Oh yeah, and then our hero kicks a small child asking for help for some reason.
It seems that they have gone to the Valley of the Fairies.
Can you say one thing without sounding like an 11-year-old trying to impress everyone?
It seems that they have gone to the Valley of the Fairies. I cannot abide the Fairies, yet I hate humans.
Okay, yeah, I guess it has been about 30 seconds since you were a complete bigot.
I smell blood. Has the Empire been here already?
Maybe it's the fact that we shot down like 5 airships. Also, you think that humans are so bloodthirsty that they kill each other all the time for no reason, so why does this seem unusual to you? Here we're introduced to this guy, who comes back home to find all his brothers died while he was away, and it's all his fault? Maybe? And then he makes a pact with a fairy who hates him because I guess.
Hey, that's it! Kill yourself! Go on! Finish it off, useless human! No! What a bore! Seriously, finish yourself off. Oh, hold on! Of course! Let's make a pact!
I'm bored is clearly the best reason to forever bond yourself to a mortal.
As hollow as a helmet? You and me, together forever!
Well, now I know why Angelus hates fairies.
Your sorry, pitiful little brothers, dead on the ground. What fun! What fun!
I don't know what sort of direction this voice actor was going for, other than maybe to be the most giantest ham in this already absurd cast of weirdos. Or, I don't know, maybe she tried to play it more straight, and the director kept saying, okay, try being louder, and after every sentence, no matter what you say, laugh uproariously.
Excuse me, do you know how late the library is open? I am so sorry for your loss. My brother died the same way. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
So anyway, back to Shaggy and Scooby, I guess.
Jackals, I will cleanse your stink with my flames.
I hate to break it to you, but burning bodies are not known for their pleasant, clean smell. I swear, it's like there isn't a single line in this game I can't make fun of.
The journey becomes strange. The absurdities grow.
Well, it's official. Square Enix made this game specifically to mess with me.
So now we meet with this guy from the last cutscene, and his name is...
Look closely, Leonard.
Leonard? Leonard? I mean, I know this name is Leonard, but...
Leonard, look closely.
I can't tell if this voice actor had never heard this name before and no one corrected her, or if they're going for some kind of attempt at historically accurate pronunciation from the medieval period. Maybe Leonard is his Hunger Games name. There's gotta be a Facebook meme for that.
Yes, my eyes are blind. Like you, I have paid for a pact.
To be blind to the foolish hopelessness of humanity is a happy fate.
Oh, shut up, Angelus! Shut up! I'm sick of your pompous, condescending, egocentric, rambling, narcissistic, kind of stupid dinosaur.
Yet, I am not blind to the knowledge.
Okay, that one made me snort.
They say that no man is beyond forgiveness.
Okay, Angelus, go ahead. Wait.
She didn't have a stupid retort for that? It's a miracle!
Anyway, we've now unlocked Leonard as a playable character. Well, maybe playable character isn't entirely accurate. How it works is you now have the ability to summon an ally a limited number of times, and he or she temporarily takes over. This is kind of weird narratively speaking because I'm pretty sure Leonard and Kime travel together, but they can't fight at the same time for some reason.
Can it be that sometimes only the sinner may live?
What does that mean? What does any of this mean? We're heading into Chapter 3 now, and while Kime reunites with Furiae, he finds out that Inuart was captured, but not Furiae, somehow?
Yes, to protect me. I will be safe. I am a goddess after all.
Okay, seriously, game! You've been coy with this long enough. It's time to actually explain what that means. What is going on? What exactly is the nature of her so-called divinity? How does she benefit? Is she, like, actually immortal and all-powerful? If so, why is everyone trying to protect her? This is so confusing, it has me enraged! Speaking of being unbelievably confusing...
Inuart strives, yet can hope for no reward. The fool plays at love alone. What think you of your sister's purity? She is the goddess, yet still a woman. The three of you, have you grown so accustomed to denying the truth?
At this point, I'm convinced the truth won't make sense, so I'm just ignoring it. Now, do you mind? I'm trying to fight 300 flying head boxes.
I am the hierarch Verdelay, imprisoned by the Empire. Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Strangely, I can. Is he communicating telepathically or what? Just to bring everyone up to speed with what I think is going on so far, humans who make a pact can communicate telepathically with their cohort. And the game also implies they can also communicate telepathically with anyone else who also has a pact. They did establish that Vertile has a pact, so I guess you can hear him, but Kaim never says a word telepathically to anyone. Seeing as he's mute, telepathy would be the only logical mode of communication for him, but he never uses it at all. Or at least the game doesn't tell you he ever does. It might just be some mute protagonist thing like Link from Zelda where you have to just fill in the blanks yourself. Except he's literally mute. But we do see him actually talk earlier in the game before the pact, so there's no reason to not show him communicate now, but we never see. This is so confusing! And it still doesn't explain how ordinary non-pact having characters earlier were talking to him from a distance, or the fact that every single friendly character is invisible in every single mission. All throughout the game, characters will talk to you as if they're right beside you when they're not. A lot of the time they are the members of your party and you can summon them to take Kaim's place. I guess there's a video game logic there, like in RPGs where there's one character displayed in the map until you go into battle and then they all appear, but they're just invisible all the time, except during dialogue-only stages and cutscenes. And if any of them is chosen to fight, Kaim disappears in glowing light and is replaced by them until the spell runs out. It's like he summons them from another dimension as if they're not just walking alongside him all the time. I have so many questions. Like, since his companions all seem to just be with him, what do they do when he's riding this dragon through a whole level? I guess they stay behind? Or they separate and find their own way there? But then what? He goes back for them? Or catches up with them later? Some of these places are completely inaccessible to someone who can't fly. It's as if there's like a dozen people all riding on this dragon, all of which have their own pacts with their own companion creatures, including a huge freaking golem! But it's not nearly as jarring as all the various NPCs who just invisibly communicate with you. Some of them are soldiers that sound like they're supposed to be fighting the same battle alongside you, except they don't exist!
Lord Kaim risks his life in battle. Come, soldiers! Stand by his side!
Not once do soldiers stand by your side. I can't describe how weird it is that you're single-handedly fighting thousands of enemies every level, but now and then someone will yell about how they're fighting too, and in fact there's a whole army out there fighting at your side, but there's no one actually there!
You have made a pact with a dragon? What fate gave you such a powerful pact beast?
You know, we just established Vertile also has a pact with a dragon. Did they forget already?
I sense no trace of Inuart. Was he taken elsewhere?
Inuart was taken to a different prison. I pray that he is unharmed.
That was a super long delay to answering the question. It came 26 seconds after the question was asked. The weird thing is, sometimes the dialogue is event-based, but sometimes it's just time-based. Sometimes there are actions you take that triggers the rest of the dialogue, and that's why it came so late. Other times they have it programmed so that at specific times the dialogue just happens. It gets really silly later. In any case, for some reason, someone asks a question, and another someone waits almost half a minute before answering. You want to know how long an awkward 26 seconds of silence is?
Have you seen Baby Driver?
Yeah.
So anyway, at this point, Vertile finally gives you some crucial plot information. So, Furiai's role is that she is one of the seals, which are magical protective forces that keep the world safe. Specifically, they keep the seeds of resurrection hidden away, sort of removed from this reality. If all the seals are broken, the seeds will materialize. What do the seeds do? Legends say they'll wipe out the world as we know it and hit reset, starting everything anew, sort of like the Earth itself becomes dead and then reincarnated. No one apparently really knows, it's a legend thing. I guess the people who created the seals didn't feel like spelling it out. As for why most of the seals are some sort of inanimate magical safeguard, but Furiai is human and is referred to as if she has divine power, that's not really explained. I still have no idea why they actually call her that. So anyway, here we are trying to prevent the Empire from destroying one of the seals, and somewhere along the way we find out they employ ghosts, which must be the ghosts of T-Rexes or something.
They seem to react to large movements.
So anyway, things kind of take a turn for the worse.
Ah! The seal! The seal is broken!
Do they possess the darkness? Or does it possess them?
I have no idea what we're talking about.
To see Lady Furiae dirtied by the desert sands.
I've got nothing. Chapter 4. So, after being missing for so long, Inuart returns with a dragon.
With a dragon? That means you have made a pact.
You know, I kind of wondered why Leonard would make a pact with a psycho fairy, but I guess not everyone can just find themselves a dragon. I mean, Kaim, only by happenstance, finds a dragon captured and half dead in the middle of a gigantic battle, and on the brink of death himself, makes a pact with her for both of their survival. Inuart, on the other hand, just seems to go out jogging and comes back with a dragon. Mom, Dad, I'd like you to meet my dragon. This would be such a different story if you made a pact with a pine marten.
I traded my songs for strength, Kaim. I can protect you now, Furiae.
Traded songs? What does that mean? Kaim permanently lost the ability to speak, and this guy just lost the ability to sing? Or play the harp? Are his arms gone? Is that what's going on? He has metal arms now? Or is that just his armor? I can't tell what's happening. Wait, they're fighting now? Why are they fighting? Can someone please explain someone's motivation here? Because my head is like a pachinko machine filled with flubber.
The goddess, her feelings for you are special. But what good is that knowledge to you?
What? What are we even talking about? What's going on? Oh, and check this out. Chapter 4, verse 6. The summary tells me, the dragon learns of Kaim's past, and the slaying of his parents by dragons. The whole level is just a few seconds long. Running along a path, killing a couple of easy foes, still running, more running, and then this cutscene.
Your parents were killed by a dragon? So, to the Empire.
That's the entire cutscene! That's the entire level! In this level, the dragon finds out about your parents. I just found out about your parents! What even prompts this? How does she even learn this? It just comes right out of nowhere! I would have thought there would at least be some event that causes her to learn about it, not spontaneous script knowledge. Does she read his mind or something? Does Kaim somehow communicate this to her non-verbally? There's nothing in this level that would remind him of this. This is the entire level! Why is this even a level? This is... Ah!
Let me read its mind.
You can read minds? But then why did it take this long to find out about Kaim's parents? And how can you read its mind if it's dead? So the psychic prune reads a corpse's mind. And it turns out all 3 seals have now been broken, and Furiae is the only one left. Oh, and Inuart kidnapped her, because sometimes men are trash. Well, we're on chapter 5. Maybe now's the time when they start filling in all these blanks, and what the... The Empire's evil factories have built immense one-eyed war monsters. What in the sweet milkshakes of tarnation? How do you build a giant cyclops in a factory? The logistics, the scale, the very notion is so astronomically absurd, I can't believe a human being came up with this. Are we sure this game wasn't written by the same bot that wrote that Harry Potter novel? What factories could you possibly even have that could even be that... How? Factories! Not magic, not some kind of selective breeding. Factories! Factories!
The Cyclops are creations of man. Nature does not mold such monsters.
Are you saying that in the high fantasy realm of Drakengard, with dragons and magic, and I'm pretty sure I'm fighting beholders now, that it's absurd that a Cyclops could possibly exist naturally, and the only logical explanation is that a living creature the size of a modern skyscraper would be built in a factory using Renaissance-era technology? Is that what you're saying to me right now, you big crimson sack of doorknobs? By the way, if these guys are totally artificial and built in factories, why are their hands chained behind their backs? Oh hey, instead of building these apparent automaton killing machines as obedient servants, how about we build them with free will, so then we have to tie their arms around their backs and enslave them in order to do our bidding? Anyway, just as I start thinking this game can't possibly surprise me anymore... Nuclear bombs. Or, I don't know, magic? The game just says they're fireballs from a floating fortress. It doesn't say anything about magic, so they could have just been built in factories or something. Kaim is gripped by a remorseless rage. So, Kaim is alive? A nuclear explosion just hit him. Or was that not him? Or... whatever.
It is the judgment of the gods.
What?
The days when humans feared gods are the days of fairy tales.
You're literally a talking dragon. And now we're fighting glowing red floating eyes while trying to attack some kind of flying air fortress.
The hands of man cannot build fortresses in the air.
Oh, they can't? What were these then way back in Chapter 1? Nobody bats an eye at, oh yeah, we built 500-foot tall cyclopes in a factory, but fortresses in the air are ridiculous? Wait, is that an upside down city?
Priestess, let me have Kaim.
Release not the Watchers.
I am strong. I feel love. Love for the Watchers. Love for you. But who are you?
Inuart?
What was that? I don't even... Not one single moment of that was even remotely intelligible.
Is that Furry Eye? So she's on a bed? With... what is that? And Inuart wants to kill Kaim now for some reason. And a face that is shrouded in darkness and also glowing red at the same time somehow just mumbles something about the Watchers. No, the only information you can possibly glean from this is just the subtext of what happens before and after. It looks like Inuart kidnapped Furry Eye, took her to this floating city, and... well, now you and he are fighting.
Noble man rides a black dragon.
Oh, so she's racist against other dragons now too? Oh, and did she just admit there are noble men? Doesn't she think all humans are poop clumps? Or does her ideology just change whenever it's convenient to the story?
Dragon, fight like the red eyes. Have you no honor?
Oh, now she's cool with the black dragon, just not with humans who specifically have red eyes.
Furry Eye! Furry Eye! Furry Eye! Furry Eye! Furry Eye! Furry Eye!
What are you, her cheerleader now? Anyway, so Kaim is too late, and Furry Eye dies.
What have you done?
I broke the seal. Now she's useless. La 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 la, la 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 la. Watchers dance.
I feel like this scene represents a descent into madness, but I can't tell if it's Inuart's madness, Kaim's madness, the developer's madness, or that of the player as they play this game. So I guess Inuart's eye has changed back to normal, and that shows that whatever spell he's under is broken. And now he sees what he's done, and for the first time he's actually seeing things clearly. Oh, he's doing a stupid again. And now we're fighting him again.
Time, stop! The seal is broken. To continue the battle is meaningless.
Yeah, well, you're kind of a defeatist git, so I'm not gonna listen to you.
Goddess is dead. The seal broken. It is the end of everything.
So, because an entire chapter was almost nothing but cutscenes, we're now in the 8th chapter. Inuart has gone alone to try to resurrect Furiae. Oh, this is a splendid idea. Good job.
Now is not the time to move. We must find and destroy all those that lead them.
And that means fighting killer Matryoshka dolls? With hearts inside? And carnivorous head boxes? So, destroying all the seals starts having all kinds of bizarre effects in the world, including the resurgence of a thought-to-be-long-dead giant dragon known only as the Worm. And so now we're fighting that.
Is the worm so weak?
We're kind of losing, babe. And multiple Grim Reapers. Okay, sure. This isn't even close to the weirdest thing we've fought so far, so I'm just going to accept it. So we actually arrive to face the final boss, being this creepy little girl who suffers from Dr. Girlfriend syndrome.
They speak. La 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 la.
And she's guarding these eggs? Are those the seeds of resurrection? We saw a bunch of those in the previous levels, but they didn't... Couldn't Inuart have just used those? Never mind, we'll explain this one later. Oh, and also she's right there, just dancing around, but the game won't let me attack her because video game things. Oh, but apparently I can jump on her. If this was a Mario game, this mission would be over right now. Vertile steps forward to mercifully seal the evil within the child, but as he begins to chant his spell,
Om Galek Ne Alifre Natila.
and Mana becomes a giant. So now we're fighting a 100-foot tall small child. One boss battle later, we come to the end.
Kaim, I am tired again. Warm me as you did before. Yes, I feel better now.
What? What was that? What did he even do? And she wanted him to warm her because she's tired. Do the game designers even understand cause and effect? Okay, so in this scene, the dragon is tired. Okay. So she asks Kaim to warm her up. Makes sense so far. And then he just waves his hand a bit next to her face for a couple of seconds. Yeah. And then she says she feels better. Cool. And which scene is this? Oh, it's the ending. It's a really important point of closure to the story. Sounds good.
I shall be the seal. No human can match my strength.
So I guess this is how her character arc is closed. She offers herself up as the new seal and becomes the savior of humanity, who she's hated up until this point. It's less of a character arc and more of a character right angle. Hates humans, hates humans, hates humans. I will protect all humans for the rest of time! So Vertile casts the spell, which binds the dragon with words.
There is but one thing I wish for you to remember.
Why are they acting like she's dying or something?
Angelus. My name is Angelus. You are the first and the last of your kind to know my name.
Yeah, except for the priest standing over there just barely outside of frame, but whatever. Wait, So she does die? What? Can I remind everyone that Furry was the seal before her and she didn't have to die to do it? Or be turned into a ball of energy or whatever the crap just happened? Drakengard, the anguish of an unsmiling watcher. What does that mean? Also, what happened with Inuart and the corpse of Kaim's sister? I mean, her ladyship Furry. He was gonna go try to resurrect her or something. That didn't happen, it was just kind of ignored. Weird. Anyway, so that's Drakengard. Thanks for watching, and Wait. Oh, that's just ending A. There's... how many? There's 4 more endings! By the way, this whole time, Angelus keeps making stupid remarks about how bloodthirsty and warmongering humans are, while in concurrent breaths saying things that are bloodthirsty and warmongering. And I farted.
Cycloptoneering. Doom Pope. Anthropomorphic exotic. That is the hardest thing. Why do I invent giant words for my script and put them in a giant paragraph?